My name is Margaret Ann Windsor. The name I have to use is Peggy Ann Dempsey. I married a Childers, so it's Peggy Ann Childers. Oh, I said earlier I wasn't going to, I'm so disgusted because this has all been orchestrated. You call it harassment. It's being mean to me. It's called that, they're told to. It's being mean is rape, just being mean or, you know. I'm not going to go any further with that. I've put all that I could up here about what's happened to me in the past and being kidnapped and all that. Um, and brought to Moulton, Alabama. But I started doing. I was trying to get this fixed, and I wrong to try to fix it here, I suppose. But I'm going to see if it works. I bet it doesn't. What you bet? Anyway, I will next time I go to Walmart or somewhere. I will get the little thing that holds it. It's hurting my hands and nerves in my hands. This is the third one I made this afternoon. I meant to not make another one. But I was watching Dr. Phil, who I have admired, and I still wonder if there's another motive. If for some reason he's going to show the truth in this, I don't know. I'd like to believe it. Because, if Dr. Phil makes you wonder if there's anybody you can trust. Anyway, yesterday I've been putting up about mind control murders and programming, and they are treating mind control murders. The people who commit them are victims of mind control. You have to deprogram them. You don't put them in jail. You don't lock them up in a mental hospital and call them crazy or treat them for mental illness. That's not what's wrong with them, and that's the worst thing you can do. And it's been used as a scapegoat to bypass the courts and get away with a weapon that is so deadly and destructive. And as of today, they're probably the people in power, the Illuminati. Your media is controlled by them. They can probably program the whole world almost if they wish, and they would wish. Anyway, I'm not going into all the background on it. My kidnapping and writing a book and getting a letter from the FBI, I'll say that much, and then flown out to Mr. Flint's in a campaign in October of '83 to replace Congressman Dr. Larry McDonald, who was a subject in my book, and I was almost killed April Fool Day of '80. Letter from the FBI, ongoing investigation, national security involved, received June the 23rd of '79. They almost killed me April Fool Day, and many times more, but that should have just wiped me, and it really did, off the face of the planet. I was illegally taken across the state line back to Alabama, Huntsville, by Lina Dempsey, the mother of the twins where I was put. She had killed them, Peggy and Carl. I put all this up. I was put there when I was 2 years old and given the name of Peggy. Now, then I run in that campaign, and I bet I'm not holding this up right. I was doing the book when the Wayne Williams, the murders happened, and he's in prison in Georgia State Prison for life. The odd thing in this, if you follow some of it, is the woman, I can't remember her name now, she was on CNN, a reporter for years, and she would do an update on the Wayne Williams and interview him and all that. Okay, you don't see her anymore. Now then, local, there was Keith Humphrey on Channel 7. He updated the Jens Zorens. He was a diplomat's son, German diplomat's son. He's involved in all this, and he's so innocent in it. And he's in Buckingham, I believe, State Prison here in Virginia. And they call it his partner in crime when that's not true. She was Elizabeth Haysom. She was supposed to help him kill her parents, Derek and Nancy Haysom, Boone's Mill over here, Bedford County, and it was tried. Everybody knew that was a mind control and done, and yet no one did anything about it. And, I've had somebody tell me Well, I guess I better shut up because anyway. What I wanted to get to was Dr. Phil today. One of the murders that I have told about, that the man's on death row, and that's Scott Peterson. And if this is the truth isn't told, he'll die on death row, be put to death, just like Timothy McVeigh was. He was programmed. He said the military put a chip up his buttocks, and they did. He was programmed. I had said that not because I wrote I didn't write this book. A book was written in '96 and sent up to me. I was having to live on the Appalachian Trail. I know this is just getting half of my face, and I hope it's getting my voice, okay? I don't need to do it again. So I'm going to skip the preliminaries here, if it's what you call it, and I'm going to get to this. Wrote about mind control murders. It's where you can put chips in people, and this is what they're doing. And by the way, this is in the end times they talk about it. And you have to take the chip to be able to eat or anything. So anyway, I didn't know this was what I was writing about, going to lead to that. I was writing about chipping people, root canals, sealing it, remote controlling, and you can cause an illness, create one, or cure it. Cancer, anything, way back then when the Tesla files was stolen. Now, I'm not going to go any further because it's being redundant, and I realize that I've told it a lot to give a prelude, because some people, if they're just picking it up, even then they don't, because there's so much I've put up there. They can't connect it. Anyway, yesterday on Dr. Phil, they were talking about Scott Peterson. And when you're talking about mind control murders, which the Parkland in Florida, you've got the Aurora, Colorado with James Holmes, where, my God, they've put him in prison, and you talk about tormenting. When you put someone in a mental hospital and they've been programmed, one has nothing to do with the other. And what they've done to that poor man, when you misdiagnose someone and you do it deliberately, and they have, believe me, all these doctors that have never spoken out, or I want to get back to this, and then I'm going to stop because I've got some things that happened that I've got a big load of laundry here I can't dry tonight, and I don't know if I can tomorrow. So it's got my clothes that were given to me the past couple of months in it, washed, and are they going to mildew? I can't dry it in here. There's no way. So I don't know. I do know that in the past, you call it hassling, it's torturing me. And everybody has sit by and watched it or helped in it. So anyway, Keith Humphrey, I'm going to go back to that because he did update the Yenzorings once every 3 years or something on the, anniversary of being tried. I don't give much credence to him anymore because he made the statement that he could have told the truth and he didn't. And, that nobody stopped him from printing stuff at the press or him putting it up at Channel 7. The only thing is Channel 7 employee or the husband of the employee deliberately come up to where I was trying to get some food, help with some food, and he stood there and told me that Channel 7 was never going to tell any of it either. Anyway, I'm going to leave that here and get back to Dr. Phil. Yesterday, they were discussing Scott Peterson. That was done in patterns. And I hope and pray that the attorney, Mark Garagos, lives through it and tells the truth. He knows he couldn't get it into court either. It's not for lack of him trying. Okay, the other thing that just got me was Nancy Grace was the invited guest yesterday on Dr. Phil, of all people. This woman worked for District Attorney Slayton, Atlanta, Georgia, when the Wayne Williams was put in prison, and Mary Welcome. I mean, all this was so absurd. I'm not going through it again. I've put it up. Anybody that followed it knows there's something bad wrong with the mess. Okay, she was, what was her position? She held special prosecutor. She's real close with the Slaytons, which is weird because I just put this up. I went by there after I was almost killed, and the crimes committed against me and my children are just ongoing. I'd worked for the district attorney in Huntsville in the condition I was in '80. And this is back later, and I walk up there, I guess it was December, somewhere in November of '82. I go to the Fulton County District Attorney's office, and anyway, I'm not going to go. I know I've put this up on the other video. They told me that Slayton was busy and I could see the assistant district attorney. So I talked to him. I'm not going into the role playing and all that went on. When I went out the door, they told me that Mr. D.A. Slayton, District Attorney Slayton, was busy, couldn't see me. So then the assistant district attorney, I'll go ahead, when I was talking to him about the Wayne Williams and what had been done to me there in Atlanta, April Fool Day of '80, and writing the book, he put his feet up, which is not normal. When somebody's sitting there right in front of you, to cross their feet and shoes and put them up on the desk right in front of you. You know, you're looking at his shoes and crossed legs. The district attorney, Thomas Jefferson, and yes, that was his name, at the district attorney's office in Huntsville, had done the same thing to me when he called me in and talked to me. And I don't remember what the subject was, but I know that you don't do that. Put your feet up like that. So anyway, it's a clue. Got through, started out the door, and looked about 2 doors down. There's Slayton, standing up against the door, like just leaning there, waiting. So he wasn't busy at all. So the point being that they would see me later. Well, I haven't seen them, but I'm going to go on with this. Nancy Grace worked there. There's no way in HE, you know what, she didn't know all this about mind control. She's special prosecutor. She's written books. She's gotten wealthy off the programs about some of these murders where she never once told the truth, and they're sent to either prison or their families does not know the truth. I was told not long ago by a family member who contacted me, and I'm not going to say her name again, and said, yes, she knew that I was telling the truth about my kidnapping, who my father is, all that, and the mind control murders. And she said if all this were told, that too many reputations would be ruined. Well, look at this. You've got Dr. Phil, who's a forensic psychologist, and you've got Nancy Grace. And today, I'm going to skip. They're talking about Scott Peterson, who's on death row yesterday. When they've been programmed, that's how the bombings, some of these bombings have been done, for God's sake. And the Virginia Tech shootings, the Parkland in Florida, you're talking about the James Holmes, the Ventura. Oh, that's one that's recently done out in California. Jesse Ventura, and this is how it goes, was a wrestler, world national champion wrestler. He became the governor twice of Minnesota. He was the one that told about mind control murders too, and when I was working at the district attorney's office, I've never met him, but there's more to the Ventura, okay, California, the name Ventura, than just this. But let me just say this. John Lennon was shot by Mark David Chapman and killed while I was working at Fred Simpson, so you're getting into patterns right there once you got some of the patterns up there, and you can't deny it. Okay, Jesse Ventura, I don't know how he got that. I'd never spoken with him. But he came out about the same time and said that it was a mind control murder. And he told a lot of stuff on, it was CNN, a division of CNN. It wasn't called night court, or not night court, but something court. But anyway, this is where I can't say her name because I dislike her so much. What did I say her name was? She's a pit bull. I can't stand her because people really like her, and she's just spitting out stuff that's untrue. And okay, let me get to Nancy Grace. Got a nice home. She's got her family and everything. Former special prosecutor in Atlanta, and she's just oblivious to mind control being used and all this, and me. Excuse me, but she has to know. Okay, now then, today, I connected this not so much the name, but because it's so similar to the Scott Peterson. Chris Watts. Now, where was he from? Is he from Colorado? Anyway, just not long ago, a month and a half ago, his wife, who was pregnant, and his two children, little girls, he's accused of murdering. And it was a horrible crime. Now, that he doesn't know, he thinks he did commit it. Nobody's told him he was programmed. So when they gave him a lie detector test, he said he killed him. Well, he thinks he did. He didn't. He was programmed. He's innocent as much as they are. His wife, an unborn child, and his two daughters. People hate him. They said nasty things. Nancy Grace and her pit bull went right after him today, and Scott Peterson mentioning him again. And here's one they had up there that really gets me. And I'm going to go back to what the relatives said to me. Too many reputations would be ruined if this whole story is told about my kidnapping, who my mom and dad are, what was done to my dad, my children, and me telling about this. They love Nancy Grace. She's all got her hair done. She's got makeup on. She was on Dancing with the Stars. Here I sit. The clothes I've got, the few, were given to me by YouTube, a couple of people on YouTube. And they're in a bag here because this didn't just happen. This is a long story of being harassed to where, how do you handle it? I'm old. I don't have a car. It's hard to pull anything. So I had to go down to the laundry room. This is not the first time it happened. The other time I just couldn't get them washed. But this has happened in the past to me. A long story of really crimes. Anyway, I got them down there, and everything I've got just about is in a bag here, big bag, trash bag, wet, can't dry it, called and lost my money in it. They sit here, and I don't know when I can't go to a laundromat and get them dried, so, that's the way it goes, so it happened to me, till you get the whole bit, and me telling about this, and people actually hating me for it. But they love Nancy Grace. Well, DeLong is a profiler, and I have to wonder, Dr. Phil had her up there. She's written books, and she was on, and I hope this is still going up, and I'm not going to do another one tonight. I said I wasn't going to do another one, period, after all this today. But anyway, DeLong, what's her first name? She was on Art Bell, Art Bell's one of the first that was telling things the media cover up, your Illuminati media. And I bet you this is still just getting I might as well just take it out. Probably didn't get any of this, and I've cut my hand. Oh my God. Dead almost, holding that thing. Wow. Anyway, DeLong has written a lot of books and been on all these programs, and she's a profiler, FBI profiler, like Criminal Minds and The Man They Shouldn't Have Taken Off, Thomas Gibson's a great actor. I think he got targeted